Hello, military mom. Hello, Leslie, Florentine Quack, Mono's Beauty, The Closet Dive. Happy Sunday, ladies. Welcome. Hello, DJ King. Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Diva 9000. Happy Sunday. Hello, Beverly. How are you? How is everyone tonight? Hello, Sharon. Welcome. Thank you, DJ King. Hello, Crystal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you ladies would go ahead and hit the thumbs up, I appreciate it. Happy Sunday, Elizabeth. We are going to get started here in just a minute. So, let's see if we can get a few more thumbs up. Maybe a few more, just a few more, so that it recommends the videos to other people that are on YouTube surfing that may be interested in Dooney or Black Friday deals or the 12 days of Dooney. All right, so the first thing is I want to make sure that everyone knows that the 12 days of Dooney is set to begin on December the 4th. But before the 12 days of duty begins, we have to get through Black Friday. And for those of you that may not be as familiar with where Black Friday gets its name from, maybe you've not worked retail. The term Black Friday refers to the financial state of retail businesses. So typically, a balance sheet, particularly with retailers, as they go throughout the course of the year, their balance sheet is red because they're really not making any money. But by the time they get to the Friday after Thanksgiving, those numbers, with Black Friday being the busiest, biggest shopping day of the year, retailers move from being in the red or losing money to making profit. So they move from the red into the black, and hence the reason they have affectionately referred to it as Black Friday. Black Friday, for those of us that have worked retail, has you either absolutely love the pace, the interaction with customers up close and personal. You either love it or you absolutely detest Black Friday. And I will tell you that throughout my career, having worked retail at different levels and with different organizations, I have run the gamut of emotions as it relates to Black Friday, and moving from the red, my employer moving from the red into the black. So, Dooney and Burke, Michael Kors, Coach, you name it, many, if not all of those retailers, according to the CNBC article that we discussed earlier in the year, that well, actually back in October, related to National Handbag Day, that handbag sales are down. So I would imagine that it's a pretty common theme across retailers, that there's a thread that ties them together, in that their balance sheets are likely still in the red. If you've been following the last few lives, then you know that both Coach and MK's Black Friday have been discussed on For Real Friday, in Feed Your Addiction, in the Tribe Time PM edition. So I'm not going to rehash that. If you're curious to know what those promotions are, I would encourage you to go back and refer to either Mrs. Q's videos or some of the ones that I have posted as of late. But what I want to give you tonight are 10 tips to help you navigate the Black Friday deals as it relates to I Love Dooney, Dooney.com, and then beyond the Black Friday sale, tips that may help you navigate the 12 days of Dooney because it is always a surprise. It can get away from you very quickly. So, what I'd like to do is share some tips with you that I have either followed in prior years during the 12 days of Dooney that have allowed me to have what I will call successful hauls based on what I was searching for, um, or tips that I have picked up along the way, along the years of shopping the sale, so that I feel really good when my boxes arrive about what I've actually purchased. So, tip number one. Tip number one is in the last few years, there has actually been a $99 bag day. Yep, $99. What I noticed this past year on the $99 sale is that there were a ton of smaller bags and crossbodies. And that has not been the case in years past. So, those of you that have shopped the 12 days before and specifically shopped the $99 day, if you would in the chat, if you can take your mind back to think about a bag or bags that you picked up during the $99 day, if you would just drop those in the live chat. And if you're watching on the replay, just leave that down in the comments. So, $99 day. The tip that I want to give you for that, hi Sunny Skies, hi Mrs. Q, is shop bags that are going to be the best value. So focus on value for $99. For me, that means shopping larger, medium-sized bag or larger bags. It also means that I'm focused on leather bags. So whether it's City, Pebble, All Weather, Florentine, Dylan, Beacon, whatever it is, focus on the largest size bags based on your type. Don't just buy a large bag or a medium bag just because it's $99. But if you think about all of the sales that have happened over the course of the year, if maybe there's a bag that you've had on your wish list or you've had your eye on, and now all of a sudden, either on Black Friday or during the 12 days of Dooney, that bag pops up for $99. And that's the lowest price you've seen. That's the catch. It can't just be $99. If you've previously seen it for $79 or $89, then that's not a good deal for you to splurge on. So $99. For me, I focus on medium to large bags because I feel like that's the best value, the best bang for my buck. I'm looking for leather bags. But, for example, Beacon, if you're not a fan of it, then don't pick that up because even though it's $99, that's $99 that you spent on something that you're likely not going to be a big fan of in your collection. If you are a larger bag carrier, then don't buy a small bag for $99 because you're just going to have a small $99 bag sitting in your closet or wherever your storage area is. So again, for me, I've purchased several pebbled leather bags for $99. Way back in the day when they used to give the heads up on the Facebook group, the Dooney Facebook group, in advance, like almost the day before, like at midnight, and then the bags were actually not going to change until noon the next day. There were occasions when you could find smaller Florentine bags, but City, Pebble, Dylan, Beacon, Go for leather bags. That $99 will go a lot further, and I think you'll be much more satisfied with a $99 leather bag purchase than you would with anything else. That's tip number one. So, tip number two. Sorry, thought I turned that all the way down. All right, tip number two. If you have not been fawning after a Dooney accessory all year, or it is not a tried and true accessory in your collection already, then skip the accessories. You will be able to find those accessory pieces other places, other times, probably better prices. Did I say better prices? Probably better prices. Like, it's going to be very difficult to beat the $59 Wallet Wednesday. And if you skipped that and then you turn around and buy a wallet for $119, unless it's just not a smart use, in my opinion, of being able to take advantage of the 12 days to have your money tied up in a small accessory, unless it is something that you have just absolutely been waiting for all year long, and now it's back and it's in the color you want. Otherwise, skip it. The other thing that I will say, tied into tip number two, this goes in the way of from a pricing standpoint as well, right? Because we're talking about $59 is kind of the accessory price to beat for Black Friday and the 12 days of Dooney on both ILD and Dooney. If you are searching for an alto, whatever piece it is, I don't care whether it's a teeny tiny Trista or whether it's a Philippa, if it is not 40 or more percent off, skip it. Because between 25% off sales, right? We typically get one of those once per season. Between the markdowns, when something moves from Dooney to ILD or it's already marked down and you get the additional percentage off, typically you can find alto pieces throughout the course of the year anywhere from 20 to 35% off. Even if you're looking in places like Marshalls or TJ Maxx or I'm drawing a blank now of some of the other places that I've picked up alto. The outlet, picking up even at the outlet, it's like 40% off. So if it's not at least 40% off, then skip the alto pieces, because you are likely going to end up overpaying for it, or could get a deal at a better sale price later if it is not at least 40% off. Florentine as well as alto during the tent sale on the last day were at least 40% off. So I'm not saying that you're going to have the same selection that you see today on Dooney or ILD, but that last day when several of the tribe members made their alto purchases, the price was at least 40% off. Okay, so that is tip number two. And if you are just joining, there are 45 of you in the room. If you would go ahead and hit the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Moving on to tip number three. Tip number three is, don't fall for buying a bag just because of the price. It is so easy to get caught up in the hype and the dazzle and the sparkle, and trust me, been there, done that in some of my earlier sales, been there, done that during earlier tent sales. Don't get a bag just because of the price. So I'm curious. I've confessed my sin. I have bought a bag just because of the price. Size probably wasn't right. Color wasn't necessarily what I wanted. I couldn't see myself carrying it, but it was such a good deal. So, how many of you in the chat or watching on the replay comment and let me know if you have made a purchase just because the bag was such a good deal? Just a good deal. Yep, I'm guilty. I'm guilty because we get caught in it, and then it ends up sitting. It ends up sitting somewhere unused, or you end up putting it in your gift closet in hopes that you will be able to find someone that will love the fact that you're gifting it to them and that it's now out of the plastic likely. So we've talked about this throughout the course of 2019, so I'm just going to reiterate it again tonight, right? Is don't keep buying the same doggone bag in different colors. Dooney has had us in that space. I confess, Coach has me in that space right now. If it's the size 22 cosmetic case, if it is the double corner zip wallet, they got me on 2 backpacks this year. I know I still have one that I haven't even shown, but don't keep buying the same bag in different colors, right? So I have been really trying to get things back stuffed and back in the vault and cleaning up this chaos that's around me that allows for me on many Sundays to be like, oh, let me just reach here and use this one as a prop for this. That is not me setting up. Yesterday talking about the XL Emmy, those props were intentional. I did those for comparison purposes, and you can tell because I had the measurements there to support my talking points. But most of the time, it's just because I can't get control of my collection and get it all in one place so that it is, again, under control. So don't keep buying the same bags in different colors over and over and over again. Take a beat. Think about the last time you carried that bag silhouette that you're about to buy. If you have not carried it in the last 6 months, then likely you don't need to add that bag silhouette to your collection. I can safely say that I have carried Russell in the last 6 months. So if like Kelly Green pops up, I'm all in. If Plum pops up, I'm completely out. I have that one in my collection. If there is an amazing deal and you have tons of that bag in your collection, unless that is your go-to silhouette, like there's nothing else really in your collection that you use, skip it. You're going to find something else when the season changes, after Christmas sale, the spring, lookbook. You're going to find something. If it is not something that you have just absolutely been coveting, then skip it. Skip it. I'm guilty. I know that many of you are as well. Now, we are all guilty of making, I'm going to say that we are all guilty at some point, likely, if you're following along here, you have likely purchased one too many bags or one too many accessories. And by that I mean you got caught up in the price. You were only going to buy one, but because the price was good, you moved them and you bought two. Or you decided, I don't have that color in my collection, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up this third one. The price is good, or I can put it on Dooney Pay and spread it out over the course of the 3 months. We're guilty there. Here's what I want us to remember as collectors. And I've had this conversation with Sonja Covington. I've had this conversation with my tribe sister Val. I've had this conversation with DJ King. I've had this conversation with myself. And that is to remember that if you are truly a collector of Dooney, then this sale is not for us. It's not for you. It's not for me. Because 9 out of 10 times, hell, I'll go as far as to say, in some cases, 10 out of 10 times, if it was something that you have had your eye on this year, you have already bought it. Whether it was 25% off, whether it was Dooney Pay, this sale is not for us. Now, I do have a caveat to that. I know that there are people that are being introduced to the brand every single day, that there are people that are starting their collections every single day, that there are people that collectors that have missed out on collections, and that if those things pop up, as well as those that are collecting, if those things pop up and they're at a good price, then who am I to tell you not to get it? Because I'm probably gonna have to sit and nurse my cart and dwindle it down before even I pull the trigger. But back to, this sale is not for us. This sale is for the gift seeker, the person that is only looking for a gift for their wife that they have not like spouses in this community, right? Because they don't get off with one bag a year. The significant others oftentimes end up spending money buying more than one bag per year. This sale is for the gift seeker, right? The guy that's trying to impress that young lady that he's dating or been dating, or maybe the gift to your mom or an aunt, or your new mother-in-law that you're trying to impress. But it's not for those of us that can on in a split second figure out a reason why we deserve a bag, or that we're treating ourselves, or that we work hard, or that we're celebrating an accomplishment. We've done that crap all year long, and that's the reason we've been focusing on accessories. It's the reason that there's gift piles. There's the reason that our storage has gotten completely out of control, is because we don't need a reason to buy a bag. It's Sunday, I'm buying a bag. It's Tuesday, I'm buying a bag. This bag is $10 cheaper than it was last week. I'm buying a bag. We don't need an excuse. But remember, this sale is not for us. It's not for us, because we've been buying it all year long. Whether it was 25% off, whether it was 40% off, whether it was finally available on Dooney and now I can split it up and put it on Dooney Pay, this sale is for that person, that gift seeker that is likely only going to make one purchase from Dooney this year. And maybe if they get a good deal on it, maybe next year they'll come back and they will make one more purchase. But it is not for those of us that can tell when something has fluctuated in price towards an increase. It's not for those of us that stalk the site, or that post the videos, making sure that you know what the price points are and when you should or shouldn't pull the trigger on a bag. It's not for us. Because if it were, Peter, marketing, then it would be some of the things that, whether it is during in comments, in the live chat, in the Facebook groups, on Instagram, it would be some of the things that we have begged and pleaded for all year to make a return, right? Because there are only, I'm just going to put myself, there are only so many Alice's that you can have in your collection. And by God, I almost got them all. I got a black one, so y'all know I almost got them all. I did skip the pink, but I did get a black. So make sure that you keep in mind this. So here's a tip. If you, And I'm going to tie it together, right? So there is a group, and I'm not going to give the group because that's a whole different thing, but some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. That says that if you really, really want to keep control of your weight during the holidays, to only eat things that you don't get on a regular basis. So, for example, to cut calories. So, for example, if you always go by your grandmother's house and she has pound cake there all year long, don't waste your calories on pound cake when you're eating all these other rich, decadent foods, because come January, come Valentine's Day, you can go back by your grandma's house and she's going to have pound cake, right? So save your calories for those things that are unique to Thanksgiving, unique to Christmas, right? So that you enjoy it more. Same thing with your bags. If you have been buying the same kind of thing all year, just in a different color, and now it's that price, skip it. I know. I'm sitting here telling you not to buy something. I know. Mark it on your calendar. I'm marking it on mine. It will probably never happen again, unless there's like a box that shows up with a tassel hanging out, and it shouldn't be. But keep those things in mind so that you have better control of your purchases and your spending. I did the same thing, Lucinda. Tip number 4. And the closet dive is about to die laughing, like she is going to fall off of whatever surface she is sitting on right now. And when you hear that thud, that's her, and she'll be back to the chat and will let us all know, hopefully, that she's okay. Tip number 4 is to focus on the gaps in your collection, or focus on your favorite silhouette. Hobo girls, look for hobos during this time of year. If you got to make a purchase and you know that hobos are what you need or want, then that's what you shop the sale for. If you're a tote girl, if you're a satchel girl, if you're a crossbody girl, shop the sale focusing on the silhouettes that work best for you. And this purchase will likely not only be one that you feel really good about because of the price, but it will likely be a purchase that you will move into and actually carry and enjoy and get your money's worth out of it, right? So even though the price may be great, and you have heard me talk about red for the last, 50 Sundays of the year, if red is not your color, don't experiment. Don't tie your money up. Even though the price is good, you are likely only making that purchase because the price is where it is, which means you're still probably not going to carry it. So focus on the gaps in your collection if you're collection building. For the rest of us, if you know that you don't carry but one crossbody a year, and the one that you have in your collection works perfectly for every zoo trip, every company picnic, every trip to the zoo, every cruise that you go on, then don't tie your money up in another crossbody because the one that you have is working perfectly for you, right? If you're not a hobo girl, just because you find a $99 hobo does not mean that it is not a sign from the Dooney gods that you should introduce that silhouette into your collection. It doesn't work that way. All right. Tip number 5. Do not experiment with bag sizes or silhouettes that have not worked for you in the past. This it doesn't matter. I'm gonna try it again. It's $99 or it's $169 or it's $179 or oh my god, I love the medium Hattie. I'm gonna try the large. Oh my goodness, the large Dawson works perfectly for me, but they don't have large, so I'm going to get the medium or the small. Don't experiment. If it's working, if they don't have the size, the color, the silhouette that you need, don't experiment. Nobody wants your returns after Christmas. So take that, gift it to somebody in your family, put it in your gift closet. Just don't send it back to Dooney or ILD for those that I need to be specific with. All right. Tip number 6. If you are considering a leather that is not yet in your collection, and you have concerns about dents, divots, scratches, raindrops, snow, hail, sand, rain, skip these 3 leathers specifically. Skip Beacon, skip Florentine, and skip Alto. I'm going to say that again. This is not the sale for you to experiment with different leathers. If you are concerned about raindrops, snowdrops, sand drops, handprints, patina, skip Beacon, skip Florentine, and by the Dooney gods, please skip Alto. You're not going to like it. You're not going to be happy. You're going to beat that bag up. Then you're going to want way too much money for it on the secondary market. And I'm speaking at this point, for all of my tribe sisters that do purchase from the pre-loved sites. Nobody wants the bag that you experimented with and did not know how to care for it, and therefore you beat the hell out of the corners. I'm just saying, it happens, and if you don't believe me, go to Mercari, go to Posh, go to eBay, and look at some of the pictures. People have beat these bags up. They beat them up, and then they want full retail price for it. And it looks like they should have just sat it out on trash night and let the trash man just take it on to the city landfill. This is not the time to experiment with leathers. If you're going to get the most out of your money, remember Alto needs to be 40 or more % off, and don't experiment with it if you're not sure how to take care of it. Some of y'all are so rough on bags from what I see on the resale market that you should literally, this right here is what you should carry your stuff in. Just poke a little handle right through there and just carry your stuff in this. Because nobody wants your bag with the corners that look like they have been beaten with a crowbar and scrubbed with a Brillo pad. Nobody wants that. So if you don't know how to take care of a bag and you think you're going to resell it, skip Beacon, because it's a little temperamental. Definitely skip Florentine, because I don't know what some of y'all do with your Florentine. I have not had any of the issues some of the community has talked about as it relates to Florentine. And I showed y'all an Alto bag last weekend that I have. It has been through the storm. You hear me? Hurricanes, snow blizzards, polar vortexes, And it still looks, I don't know what some of y'all are doing with bags, but tip number 6, skip it for the rest of us. All right. Tip number 7. If you are making purchases from ILD, I'm just going to use my phone right now as a mirror because I'm going to be talking to myself right now. Self, if you are going to be making purchases from ILD, you either need to take blood pressure medicine to keep your pressure down, take your blood pressure medicine so that you can get control, because it's possible. It's possible, self. It's possible. Self, it's possible you're going to get a return and it's not going to be properly repacked and you're going to be pissed. So if you're going to buy from ILD this holiday season, you need to make sure that you got those emotions around what they've posted to be true on their website, right? They've posted that it's new stuff, but you know that that's not what they've been sending. So either take your blood pressure medicine or be prepared for somebody else's returns. All right, that's tip number 7. All right, tip number 8. Tip number 8 is Dooney leather or Dooney metal band watches are a steal at $99. Do not miss out. Do not, if Dooney puts watches up and they either have leather bands, even though all of the issues I have had with leather, some of y'all, I've been in and out of ladies' rooms and I've seen some Dooney handbags in and out of ladies' rooms. Some of y'all don't wash hands at all and others are just washing hand fingertips. I wash like all up here. So my watch band, my leather watch band, my metal watch band, it's going to get wet. So I understand why I have had issues with my Dooney leather bands. It's because mine get wet because I wash even at home, I wash all up. Yeah, I see y'all in the airport. I do. I'm sorry. I'm not going to call anybody out because I don't know your name. But I see you with your handbags, and either you're a part of this community or we're going to go back and you're like the person that's going to get the gift from the gift seeker who this sale is for. But anyway, even having to have the band replaced, $99 is a good sale for the leather and the metal bands on the watches. $99. Don't miss out. Most of their watches are really unisex. I love the fact that they have the big bold face. If you are not a big bold face watch wearer, skip those. But your husband, I have gifted those. My uncles have them from me and they love them. I have a cousin that I actually, he told me, hey, if you see one, this is what I'm looking for. And I bought one and he just reimbursed me. I love their watches. I have one right here, but it's a ceramic one. I love their watches. I would pay $99 as well for ceramic. So leather, ceramic, or metal. I would not pay $99 for their sport watches with the rubber watch bands. I don't know. If you are looking for, maybe if you scuba dive, or maybe somebody that scuba dives or surfs or whatever, and they need a watch that's waterproof, if you can get it for $99 and it affords them an opportunity to, do people scuba dive and surf with watches? I don't know. I've never done it, and anyway, maybe $99 compared to what other watches may cost that are water sealed to a certain depth, it may be good. But as far as I'm concerned, the ceramic, the leather, or the metal, if you see them at $99, get all you can. Get them for graduation gifts, for Father's Day, for Mother's Day, for Valentine's Day. Throw a couple in your gift closet. If I don't know what you and your team do at work, I don't know what dollar amounts. Maybe it's just your assistant that keeps you on your toes. $99 for Dooney watch, ceramic, metal, or leather is a good deal. Doesn't matter what. Don't miss out on those waiting to see if I think that it's a good deal. If it's ceramic, if it's leather, or if it's metal, and it is a Dooney watch, I prefer the ones that have the date inset in them, but this one does not. But you're not going to be able to see it, but I love the fact that the little second hand has like the little DB. Where is it? Let me take this off. Do I want to take the plastic off? No, I'm not going to take it off. But if you can see the little DB right there on the second hand. So there's the second hand, and that's the top of it. I absolutely love their watches. Confession. Right now, well, not right now, because I didn't put one on today, because I've been in the house all day. But I'm currently using an MK watch. But that MK watch is probably 9 or 10 years old. It's from a birthday that long ago. And I made the decision back this summer that I was not going to wait for another birthday or another sale or buy another Dooney watch or send another one off for repair, when all I needed to do was pull the pin and push in so that the battery would engage in that one. And I love it. I bought that year, I think I bought 3 MK watches. And it is an absolutely gorgeous watch. I have been stopped twice at the airport with people complimenting me on my Rolex. I was flattered and promptly proceeded to tell them that it was not. So, $99, and Dooney has some amazing watches. But if it's really a sale, I can't recommend you pay more than that for it, because I have not paid more than $99 for mine. At the cheapest, I paid $50, but that was a different watch band. All right, tip number 9. Well, before I go to that, in the comments, how many of you have Dooney watches? I'm curious. Anyone have Dooney watches? If you don't, if they have them Black Friday or during the 12 days, take the plunge, get one. I promise you, you will be hooked. I have never gotten a return or a repack on a Dooney watch. Well, my niece has 3 Dooney watches. Okay? Are they all either leather, metal, or ceramic bands, Lawanice? Bat Crazy doesn't have any. $99. All right. So, tip. Am I on tip number 9? I think I'm on tip number 9. Look for things in the sale from collections of look for things in the sale from collections of days gone by, meaning they're no longer available for us. Things that may be on your wish list, things that you have maybe typed in a live stream at some point this year that you hope they create or that they bring back. Look for those things and figure out in advance what is going to be that good price for you. Because if not, you could overspend. And I say that because if you don't know how much a Kelly Green Florentine piece is worth to you, then if it appears, you are likely going to be so enamored by the fact that it's back that you could potentially overpay for it. And now I'm talking to myself. Self, you could possibly overpay for it if you don't figure out what it is worth to you to have that color in that leather in your collection. So, that tip is not only for those of us that have grown, or what I want to call it, mature collections, but if you are pretty new to collecting Dooney, maybe a couple of years in, and you have missed out on bags or collections, you missed out on the Fairfield collection, you missed out on Russell's, you missed out on some of the pops of color, maybe you missed out on all weather leather, some of those silhouettes that are not readily available today, then this would be a good time to call through the sale, right? I do not believe in depriving myself. Sandra Covington and I had this conversation last night on a couple of different things in our lives, but we don't believe in depriving ourselves. Now, by that I mean, I'm not telling anybody to go crazy. I'm not telling you to go in debt. I'm not telling you to spend above what you can comfortably afford. But by that I mean, let me tell you, don't deprive yourself of putting it in your shopping cart. Sometimes it's just the satisfaction of add to cart and you just feel like, whew, I feel so much better. And then when you actually see the total, you're like, okay, now let me go through and see how much of this I really want. What can I bring my cart down to? What's overpriced? How much did I really want to spend? Do I really need this one? Is it in here because of the color? Is it here because of the size? Is it in here because of the price? Don't go crazy with your shopping cart. 'Tis the season. Enjoy it. Sparkle and shine. It's all good deals. Put just everything that you see. And I do this every single week when I'm shopping Dooney, ILD, Macy's. I have it bad at Nordstrom's. Everything I see, if it's in my size and I want it, I put it in my cart. And I feel so much better after I do. And sometimes that's all I need to do. There are other times that what I do is I realize that I'm not going to spend $5,000 because I wanted every pair of Uggs this season. Or I'm not going to buy every new Alto piece today that was released for this season. You put things in perspective, take some things out, reevaluate your budget, see if it makes sense. Are they things you really want to carry? And sometimes my cart just expires and then I don't even remember what I put in there. So clearly I didn't really need it. Sometimes I take screenshots. I have screenshots saved right now in my phone of carts of sales gone by. But I didn't pull the trigger then, and I likely will not go back in and see what I had to put it back in a new cart, because the whole point of the sale is like, go crazy, go ham, put it all in there, and then come to your senses and make some big girl adult financial retail therapy decisions. All right. Tip number 10. Tip number 10 is do not spend more than your budget will allow you to comfortably spend, aka set a budget. Set a budget, and if you're buying on credit, if your balance is not going to be paid off in January, then it should not go past February, because if there were no 12 days, if there were no Black Friday, if you didn't have the money to pay for it all up front or didn't want to have your money tied up, then if you're buying from Dooney, the most number of months that you would be able to spread that payment out would be the initial payment in December, a payment in January, and they're going to collect their third payment in February. So if you cannot comfortably handle it, if you're doing it on credit in 3 months, then you don't need to make the purchase, because December, you get January. If you don't have a balance on that card, you basically get January for the most part interest free, right? Because you made the charge in December, the bill becomes due in January. If you pay it, it's all good. If you can't pay it all in January, you need to pay it off in February. If not, then you probably shouldn't make the purchase at all, especially if you're making it on credit, because your purchase then is going to start accruing interest on your credit card, and that is going to erode at the savings from any purchase that you made during the holidays, which means you couldn't afford it to start with, or you overspent because here you are, everybody else is getting ready for spring break or planning for summer vacation, or ready for the summer season to start buying bags, and you're still paying for stuff from Christmas. I am so happy that the last 2 years I did all of my Christmas gifts without needing plastic, other than my debit card, because I don't keep cash on me. Y'all know we had the $1 challenge several weeks back, and there were many of us that would have been dead if we needed to just come up with $1 green dollar. So I don't keep that on me. Starting earlier in the year, the other thing that I don't openly share, that I'm going to share now, don't ask me what my budget is, but every pay period, I have a little egg that goes into a separate account that I use for 12 days of Dooney. This year, I have committed that I am not spending that. Dooney's on the naughty list this year, and they're not getting it. They're not all of it anyway. Maybe they'll have something in Kelly Green, and I will lose my mind and buy it. But I will not be giving them, like I have in years past, what I say to be able to lose my mind. Because you got to think, it's my birthday, it's Christmas, it's peak retail therapy time, it is sale time. My favorite color is red, and if you can't find red between December and February, then you are blind, because it is everywhere. It is everywhere. So I like to be able to take advantage of that during that time. But not this year. Not this year. And why break up a 24-month streak of no credit? And it has been it's right at 15 months since I made a purchase from QVC. 15 months. That's over a year. That's a year and a quarter. I've gone 5 quarters. 5. Without buying anything from QVC. Not Tatcha, not Dooney, not not cinnamon buns to keep in the freezer, not pot stickers from David and his happy dance, nothing in 15 months. So I'm really excited about that, and I don't plan on turning back. I needed delivering from QVC because if they had it, I needed it. And part of that is because I've shared with you that I have seen QVC from the inside. Seen it from the inside. And I'm not talking about, go in and do the live studio audience or just shop the store. I have been in the hollows of that place, and I was extremely impressed with what I saw, and honestly had not made a purchase from QVC before that. Now, I had family members that shopped the very first day that QVC launched, but I never personally made a purchase until after that, in-depth experience with them. And then I became absolutely like hooked. And I'm not telling you that I'm not going to ever purchase from QVC again, because that is likely a lie, and I'm not lying to you. But I don't plan on making a purchase of anything this holiday season from them. Because for the most part, I'm done with my Christmas shopping too. So it's all about me at this point. So those are my 10 tips. If you enjoyed those tips, if you think any of those will be helpful for you this holiday season, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up. I'd like to hear in the comments or in the live chat, are there any additional comments or any additional tips that you would provide to the ladies in this community to help them with navigating Black Friday as it relates to Dooney or any other retailer? And what tips do you have based on your prior experience with the 12 days of Dooney? What tips or advice would you give the ladies in this community to help ensure that they have a successful shopping experience, but they are not dreading January and February because of the credit card bill? Yeah, so the Closet Dive says that sometimes they do make some things special for the 12 days of Dooney. I think for us last year, it was the launch or the reappearance. It wasn't a launch, the reappearance of the medium Russell, right? So those were that for me was the only thing that really caught my attention, and the fact that we had gone to the tent sale and actually received those additional discounted coupons, that made the purchase of more Russells, medium Russells, even better. But she's right. There are, and sometimes it's very limited in quantity and in color offering. But there are things that sometimes pop up just during Black Friday or just during the 12 days. Yep. All right, let me look at the stick to your price goal during the 12 days of Dooney if you have one. Not to overspend. I agree with that. I'm purse happy too. Setting a budget is key. It is key. It is key. It is key. You can get caught up. And let me tell you, there will always be another sale. Always. Even if Dooney is closing its doors, they're going to have likely a going out of business sale. There will always be another sale. Even if you have to switch brands to buy your bags and accessories from, there will always be another sale. Don't put yourself in a situation where you are stalking your account, begging, pleading, waiting, hoping, dreading that second and or third Dooney pay to come out of your account. Because just remember, this month is when the winter utility rates kick in. I don't want anybody sitting in the cold. Don't want anybody missing live because your internet's off or your cell phone bill hasn't been paid because you went crazy during the sale. Trust me, there will be other things that will be worthy of your coins as we move into 2020. Do not put yourself on a financial strain because of FOMO. And y'all know that DJ King is the queen of FOMO. It's not just the fear of missing out, it's the first of many others. That means there will be another sale. You can buy it again. All right? So, Mrs. Q, are we on for... No, this coming week is Thanksgiving. So there will be no For Real Friday Eve. There will also be no For Real Friday because, if I recall correctly, Mrs. Q is traveling. And I think I'm going to take this Sunday off. This is what I'm going to do. I will, on Sunday, upload the video of me gluing my hattie. Y'all know that fiasco with the strap and my cat-like reflexes. Well, last weekend, me and one of my tribe sisters got together and we glued 2 large hatties. One in bone, one in navy. It was filmed. I still need to glue my red, but come back next Sunday. I will upload that video, but we will not have a live chat because I'm going to hang out with my family, probably take my nephew to the movies or hang out with him and his friends. It's been a few months since I have been home, so I've got some friends that I need to catch up with and some drinks that I want to enjoy. And so I'm just going to do that and hope that you will do the same. Please make sure that you come back on Sunday. It'll be a pretty short video because I don't want to keep you away from your family and friends. But maybe before you go to bed, or maybe when your mother-in-law is getting on your nerves, or maybe when your husband is trying to get your drunk brother-in-law out the house before he knocks over, the Christmas tree, you can, retreat to your master suite or the bathroom or the pantry or in a closet or the garage or your car and watch the short video and regain your sanity and then come back and play nice with those people we call relatives. So, come back on Sunday. No live stream though, but I will post the video on Sunday of us gluing the E6000 project. Will go live next Sunday. I do hope that you all have an amazing Thanksgiving. If nothing more than the fact that there was a need for us to talk about our spending this coming week, if nothing more, that is a surefire sign that we all are blessed and blessed indeed. So don't forget what is most important. Spend time with your family and friends, those that are close to you. Remember that not everyone has been as fortunate. There are people that would literally kill for the lifestyle that you have, even with the things that we perceive as being problems or issues. There is still somebody that is a bit envious of the blessings that we have in this community. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it lightly. Pull away. Enjoy family and friends, because at the end of the day, if we drop dead, and I had an old coworker that I got a call this morning passed away unexpectedly. Um, I am certain that as he was transitioning, he was not thinking about the number of cars that he had or the number of motorcycles that he had, but he was thinking about the time that he spent with his son and his daughter, and hoping, wishing, praying that he had more time, and hoping, wishing, praying that they will be okay when he is no longer here. So don't don't forget that these things can be replaced. Maybe you can't replace your all weather leather because they don't make it anymore and it's vintage, but you can find another bag. You can't find another mother, father, sister, brother, spouse, nieces, nephews, close friends. Enjoy what is most important this season. And if you're counting calories and playing with that thing called a scale, the best advice I can give you is a meme that my tribe sister Valerie sent over this morning. So, Wednesday night, don't forget to set your scale back 15 pounds. You'll be okay after the holidays after you do that. Thank you so very much for watching, everyone. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. I will see you sometime in the near future. I'll upload on Sunday. Until next time, happy Thanksgiving, and I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care.